Good afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, December 9th, 2024. This is a special meeting number 2 on December 9th. We're live in City Hall Commissioners Room, second floor. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 2:48 p.m. The purpose, roll call, we'll let the record show that all 7 commissioners, including the mayor, are present. Also present is City Secretary Ann Womack, City Manager Taylor Tedder, and Assistant City Manager Evan Miller, and Chief Keith Banks. We've checked out in the hall. There's nobody out there, and no members of the audience present right at this moment. The purpose of this special meeting is to review submissions by candidates for city solicitor position and related topics. And with that, we'll turn it over to Taylor Tedder.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. Good afternoon. I'm going to provide a brief presentation, walk you through the recruitment process that we've done so far, and then look forward to potentially extending the recruitment and interviewing someone that has submitted. So a little bit of background, the Baird Mandalis Brockstead Federico firm represented the city since 2006. On October 23rd, 2024, the city received notification from Mr. Mandalis that their firm would withdraw from representing the city in all capacities within 45 days. At the November 4th, 2024 special meeting, the Board of Commissioners voted to appoint Connolly Gallagher as interim city solicitor. Also at that November 4th meeting, the Board of Commissioners directed myself to issue an RFQ and simultaneously recruit for an on-staff in-house legal counsel attorney who wished to be an employee of the city. The RFQ was made available to interested parties immediately on November 6th, and we were also able to post the position on our employment opportunities portal on our city website. And December 2nd was when those submissions and employment applications were due to my office. Ultimately, the RFQ process, which is included in your packet, the RFQ that was sent out, yielded one submission from Liguori and Morris. The attorney's name is Gregory Morris, and he has been with that firm since 1999. He does have municipal experience, currently serves as the solicitor of the town of Dagsboro for the past 6 years, town of Bridgeville for 2 years, town of Camden for the past year, the Camden, Wyoming Sewer Water Authority for 5 years, and the Kent County Regional Planning Commission for the past 6 months. In his submission, he has a proposed hourly rate of $250 an hour. His resume and cover letter are included in the agenda packet as well. And I've also included a letter of recommendation from the Bethany Beach city manager who, while Mr. Morris doesn't serve as their solicitor, his partner, Mr. Liguori, is their solicitor, and so he's worked with them over the years and so has developed a relationship with them. The mayor also received recommendations from Councilman Tom Carey of Bridgeville and the Dagsboro Mayor Chandler. So that's our one RFQ submission. And then the employment application for in-house counsel also yielded one application, and that applicant typically for employees, you would review those names in executive session. So I provided a general overview in your agenda to potentially save you time from having to have an executive session. So this individual had great private sector experience as senior counsel with a national insurance carrier, but has no government experience and is not licensed to practice in Delaware. So my recommendation on that applicant is to not move forward. But ultimately, at the time of writing this report, I believed it would be prudent to, one, interview Mr. Morris at a later meeting, and then two, extend the RFQ. I also do believe if we're extending the RFQ, we might as well extend the employment application as well for in-house counsel. I did have someone reach out on Friday that's interested in applying, but didn't see the job available since it ended on the 2nd. So I'm here for any questions you may have, but ultimately the motion that I would look for action today would be to interview Mr. Morris and extend both the RFQ and employment application recruitment process for another 30 days.
Since we only got one submittal, I would agree with that motion. Let's just, if we consummate that, then when would we meet? I gave you 2 dates and you indicated he could not meet which, the 13th?
He couldn't do the 13th. He could potentially do, I believe we discussed the 19th.
19th, yeah, I was saying 19th at 10 a.m.
And I could also look at alternatives, but tentatively that would appear to work. It's the day before your regular meeting.
Yeah, I would go with 10 a.m. on the 19th, which is the day before our regular meeting on the 20th. Before we entertain a motion, I mean, does anybody have any particular questions that they want to ask Taylor or about this process or anything? Commissioner Thier?
Microphone.
Thank you. Different strategies or approaches you'll use over the extension of the RFP, RFQ?
So my thought, so we did advertise this pretty widely. We advertised it with the Delaware Bar Association, put it out through the International City County Managers Association, which cross-posted it to veterans and local government, the Virginia Municipal Management Association, the Maryland Municipal Management Association, and Women in Local Government, as well as the Delaware State League. But my strategy moving forward for this next 30 days, I would look to send the RFQ to any and all attorneys' offices in the area that I can find. And then also with the employment application, look at also, so we post all of our city jobs on LinkedIn, but we could also put it on Indeed as well.
Mayor?
Commissioner Good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this interviewing Mr. Morris on December 19th at 10 a.m. And as you and I discussed, I'm hopeful you will also keep the in-house counsel RFP open, because I think a lot of people have felt in the long run having in-house counsel would be a cost savings. On a separate issue, I hope, it turns out we're not legally bound to have legal counsel at all of our meetings. In fact, this is a refreshing example. We don't have legal counsel here. And I believe that in some cases we've gotten off the cuff wrong advice, bad advice, or no advice. Just the lawyer will the city solicitor often says, well, I'll have to get back to you on that. So I would like to propose, especially as this candidate, Mr. Morris, even alludes to, he even says that he'd only be present at this $250 an hour rate at town council meetings where he's specifically requested to be present. So in other words, there's a precedent. A lot of other towns decided it's simply too expensive to have counsel sitting there throughout these meetings. So if we were to go with this hourly, hourly rate, which is what we've done in the past, I hope there'll be consideration for a different protocol. Maybe you or Mr. Miller or someone else will take notes and figure out what are the 1 or 2 questions which need to be run by an attorney following the conclusion of the meeting, and that should suffice. I mean, I just watched Mr. Walton sit through, I think, the last 2 hours of that 5-hour meeting. He wasn't needed to say anything. He was just, he's just billing us to be a presence at that meeting. So, and I'm working on protocols for the Planning Commission and the Board of Adjustment, but there seems a little more justification for having legal counsel present. But for the Board of Commissioners, it's not legally, it's nothing in our charter, nothing in Delaware state law. There's no reason for us to continue this this endless stream of legal fees for attorneys to babysit these meetings, in my opinion. That would be a major cost savings. But yeah, this candidate looks great. Glad we can, interview him on the 19th. In the event, that in-house counsel candidate you said who contacted you Friday, we don't really know, you don't know how many applicants you're going to get to be in-house counsel, obviously.
Anybody else have a comment? If not, I'll entertain a motion, but help reiterate the motion. Move to conduct an in-person interview with Mr. Boris. I don't want the time and date put in there in case there has to be a change. And then what? And extend recruitment for in-house attorney. And so can you
Yeah,
characterize?
two
what you-
parts. So interviewing Mr. Morris and then extending both the RFQ process and the employment recruitment.
For in-house and
Independent contractor.
independent.
Just a question on that. Would you consider, I don't know, but here in your suggested motion, it says for 1 additional month. Limiting that may cause us to have to come back if, again, the number of applicants is not sufficient. Would you consider
Open
just
until filled would be wonderful.
Yeah, just open-ended in that respect?
Patrick, do you have it down? You want to make a motion?
The motion to schedule a special meeting in December to interview Mr. Morris and extend the RFQ and employment application process.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Patrick Gossin, a second by Commissioner Ed Stranowski to conduct a in-person interview with Mr. Morris and to extend the RFQ process for in-house attorney and independent contractor. Is there any further discussion? No, I've got, Ed's got it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And motion's carried unanimously.
Thank you.
With that, there being no further business, I'm sorry. I just want to make note that our next on our agenda is citizen comment, and we'll let the record show that there were no citizens present. With that, no further business, we'll adjourn this meeting at 3:01 p.m. Thank you very much. So you'll